The old man came every day at 5 o'clock, no matter how cold the evening was, no matter how empty the street looked, no matter how tired the world seemed to be. He always arrived at the same little tea shop, sat in the same chair and ordered the same thing. 1 cup of hot tea, nothing else. No cake, no coffee, no complaint, just tea and silence. The shop owner had seen him for years, but she never truly understood him. He was old, quiet, and gentle, with silver hair, soft eyes, and hands that trembled just a little when he held the cup. He never argued, he never rushed, he never asked for special treatment, and most strangely of all, he never complained. One evening, while the wind pressed cold against the windows, the shop owner finally asked him, "Sir, can I ask you something?" The old man looked up slowly and smiled. "Of course." She hesitated, then said, "I've seen many people come through here. Some are angry, some are tired, some complain about everything. But you never complain, not once. Why?" The old man lowered his eyes to this cup in his hands. For a moment he said nothing. Then, in a soft voice, he answered, "Because I already spent too many years doing that." The room seemed to grow quieter. Even the clock on the wall felt farther away. The shop owner leaned in slightly, and the old man began to speak. "When I was young, I believed happiness would come later. After success, after money, after work became easier. So I worked harder and harder, day and night. I kept telling myself just one more year, just one more promotion, just one more sacrifice. I thought life would finally become peaceful when I reached the finish line." He gave a small, painful smile. But life had other plans. My wife became sick, and I was always busy. I said I would be there tomorrow. I said next week. I said after this job was done. But by the time I was finally ready to stop chasing everything else, it was too late. His voice dropped lower. One morning she was gone. The shop owner looked down. The old man stared into the tea as if the past were still floating there in the steam. "I spent years blaming myself," he said. "I blamed my work. I blamed my choices. I blamed the world. I thought if I complained long enough, somehow the pain would become lighter." He shook his head gently, but it didn't. It only made me more bitter. And bitterness, he paused, then looked at her with deep, tired eyes. Bitterness does not heal a broken heart. The shop owner said nothing. She only listened, and in that silence, the old man continued. "Then one rainy afternoon, when I had almost nothing left, I met an old woman on a bench. She had no money, no comfort, no fine clothes. Her shoes were worn and her coat was thin, but she smiled like she still had something the rest of the world had forgotten. I asked her, 'How can you still smile after everything life has taken from you?' The old man lifted his cup slowly. She gave me a cup of tea, just like this one. Then she said something I have never forgotten." He looked at the steam rising from the cup. "Tea does not ask the storm to stop. It simply stays warm." The shop owner felt a quiet shiver move through her. The old man smiled softly. "That was the day I understood something important. We cannot stop every storm. We cannot keep every loss from coming. We cannot hold time in our hands, but we can choose not to become cold because of it." He took a slow breath. "So I stopped complaining. Not because life became easy, but because I finally learned that peace is not found in perfect conditions. It is found in a heart that stays warm inside imperfect ones." The tea shop stayed silent for a while. Outside, the wind moved through the street. Inside, the little lamp above the counter glowed softly over the two of them. From that day on, the shop owner began to see people differently. She noticed the tired father who came in after long shifts, the student who tried to hide fear behind a quiet face, the widow who sat alone with trembling hands, the man who carried anger like a heavy coat, the young woman who smiled too much just to keep from breaking. They all looked different, but their pain was the same. So instead of just serving tea, she began serving kindness. She listened more. She rushed less. She smiled gently. She let people stay a little longer. And slowly, the little tea shop changed. Not because the tea became better, not because the chairs became softer, but because people started to feel seen. They began to breathe again. They began to talk. They began to heal. And all because one old man had taught her that warmth matters more than words. Then one winter evening, he did not come. The chair stayed empty. The next day, still empty. The day after that, too. A week passed, then another. At last, The shop owner heard that the old man had passed away peacefully in his sleep. She stood still for a long time. She could not speak. She could not move. That evening, while cleaning the table where he always sat, she found a small envelope tucked beneath the chair. Her name was written on the front. Inside, there was only a short note. "Thank you for never rushing me. Thank you for serving tea like it mattered." People do not always need answers. Sometimes they only need a warm place to rest their hearts. Be that place. Tears filled her eyes. She folded the note carefully and held it close. And from that day on, every evening at 5 o'clock, she placed one extra cup of tea on his table. Not because she expected him to return, but because kindness does not vanish. It lives on. It moves quietly from one heart to another. And sometimes, a single warm cup, a single gentle question, a single moment of being truly seen can change everything. So if your heart feels heavy tonight, pause for a moment, take a slow breath, and remember this: you never know whose life you may touch by choosing kindness over complaint, because often the smallest warmth creates the biggest change.